Okay, welcome, Mikayla Jai, the one and only, my favorite boss bitch, relentless coach that I have going. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I just told her I'm so nervous, but welcome to the Identity Glow Up podcast, my very first podcast interview. And the fact that it's you, I was actually saying to some of my girls, like, this is a manifestation moment for me. I feel like I am just like manifesting all of these things this year, and I owe a lot of that to you for helping me step up and be the boss bitch that I know I was meant to be. So, welcome.
Oh my
Hello.
gosh. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I am so honored to be your first interview. This gets to live in the podcast feed forever as the first
Yes.
one. And yeah, it's so special. I'm so excited.
Yes.
where is this convo gonna go? We're gonna go in so many places. So everybody download the episode right now to
Right,
re-listen.
right now. You need to listen right now. And it's going to be on YouTube because I started posting on YouTube last week. So to gear up for
Amazing.
this one, I know. So we are going all out and I'm going to give her all the questions. The nervousness is already starting to wear away. So we're just
We're
we're
just
just
gonna
going to
go.
go all in. And I actually have to tell you, I don't know if I've told you this before or not, but I started listening to you, the Mindset Magic Manifestation podcast, correct? Is that okay? So I want to make sure I said it in the right order, but I started listening to you years ago, and I'm not gonna lie, there was something that you said that triggered me, and it
Mm.
was, and I don't even have this in my notes, okay? It was your excuses are boring, and I was like, how dare you? How dare you? Like I am a mom. I have a full-time job. I have excuses, and they are totally valid. So rude, and I'm not gonna lie. I stopped listening to you for a little bit because I was like, what? That's not
Like
okay.
now.
Yeah, like how dare you say that about me? Like I don't vibe with her at all. And I don't know what got me back in, but I got back and I wasn't even following you on Instagram yet. I got back in and when I tell you, because I finally was like, okay, cut the shit. Your excuses are boring. Let's be totally on.
Was like
Your
ruminating in the back of your head for like a year.
Yeah, and it was I don't think it was a year. I think it was like a couple months maybe. And I was like, okay, I found like a random podcast episode popped up. I'm like, okay, I need to listen to this. And I got sucked back in and it made me realize my excuses are so freaking boring. And it made me realize that you have to like step the hell up and go after your dreams and not worry about like anyone else and go all in on your standards and all in on like no longer worrying about your excuses and really calling yourself out. And I feel like I owe that to you for like, because like right after that, I signed up for your program and then another program and then another program. And you've
And
been
here we
stuck with
are.
me for like at least a year now. So
Yeah.
one, can't wait for this conversation. But two, I wanted to start off by saying that because I felt like I needed to get that off my chest.
That's so incredible. You have never told me that before, so I love. I hear that story from people a lot. I think there's so many different things that I have said. I mean, I've been a podcaster for 8 years now, so I've said a lot of different things under the sun, and different things trigger different people because I am somebody who is just so unapologetic, and I'm also very like I'm gonna say it how it is, and it's gonna be a little abrasive at times, but it's because that's how I talk to myself. It's like everything that I teach and share, it's something that I have gone through personally, which is why I go and share it. And so I get things from people all the time, stories and messages, and they're like, I didn't really like this. I don't really like that. And I'm like, that's okay. You'll get it later or you
Yeah.
won't. Or if just like delete that episode from your brain. If it's not for you, like that's totally okay. And one other like interesting example of this I've heard from people a lot is I love luxury. Like I love luxury travel, luxury hotels. Like I love driving a luxury car. It's just like always been a part of my personality. I really love beautiful environments. And so I talk a lot about luxury, and people will take that the wrong way into like a materialistic path. But I'm like, no, luxury, it can be different for everybody and it looks different for everybody. Like
Yeah.
luxury could be like for some people only working half of the year. Like that's my worst nightmare. I love to work. I work like every fucking day. And I'm like, but for them, that's like their luxury lifestyle. And I would hear a lot, especially from moms, they'd be like, well, like my luxury doesn't look like buying a Louis Vuitton bag. I'm like, yeah, your luxury is sending your kids to these expensive summer camps so you can go to the fucking spa. Like that is luxury. And
Agreed.
people just always they take it at face value at first, and then it sits with them, and then they hear something else from me, and they're like, all right. all right. And I'm like, come back in. No harm, no
Yeah,
foul.
there's still a seat. There's still a seat here
There's
for you.
always room for
Yeah,
you.
and I feel like for me, I've hired a lot of coaches that are not moms and have these like luxury lifestyles. And I used to compare myself so much to like
Mm,
you and to my past coaches and things like that, where it's like, well, I could never have that. So how can I reach that potential? But I feel like you said, luxury looks different for everybody, but also like the way that I see it is you have two options. One, you can either be pissed off at them because they have it and you could never have it, or you can actually like figure out how to make that inspire you more and get the hell up and actually do something about it. And I feel like I was the first one for a while. And
yeah,
maybe that's why like I was kind of like, how dare you say that
like
my excuses
rude.
are boring, right? But then like it's like actually being like, okay, how can I incorporate this into my life? Like I I am a mom. I'm not going to be able to go off and go on all these trips. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to because of
There's
my
so many
kids'
other
future.
logistics involved
Yeah.
for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like, how can I, instead of just sitting around and moping around and being like, oh, poor me, which a lot of people do, how can
Mhm.
I actually like take what she's saying, take what she's doing, and push myself to that next level? Like, actually have it be this motivation to take me to the next level. And I feel like that's what so many people miss is they're just so worried about judging other people instead of just being like, okay, why am I so pissed off about this? And
Why am I
how can
so
I
triggered?
why
Like,
am I so? This is something about me and not about them. So I think that more people need to recognize that because I may even say some things that people are like, oh, I don't like that. Especially like now recently, like your excuses are boring is something that I say often to
yeah,
like my clients and things that I say to
love.
myself often and all of that. And so it's like, just take it, let it sit, and then figure out why it triggers you so much. Because it's probably because it's something you've thought yourself, but you're just too afraid to say it out loud.
It's
So,
offensive to hear out loud when it's something
yeah,
you've been thinking, you know? And like,
exactly.
I think people are so married to like the very victimhood mode. Like that's where I was for a really long time. Like growing up, I had like a really shit hand of cards dealt to me. Like I've lived alone since I was 15. Like I started paying rent like when I was 17 years old, still in high school, working three jobs. Like I every year of high school, like major throwback, but it's like it was getting worse and worse and worse. Then when I went to college, it just kept getting worse. And I just remember feeling like when's it going to get easier for me? Like why me? Why me? Why me? And like I would see my friends and their lives were so much easier, or like their parents were together, or like their families were like financially stable, and like I just always had it so much quote unquote harder than everybody else.
Mhm.
And I was so I felt like the world owed me something. I was like, well, my life's so hard, then like this should go be easy for me. And so then because I had that belief association, it was like, well, let me put myself in the victimhood mode for everything because then somebody is basically going to pity me and make it easier on me. Until I realized like that is so disempowering too. Like I don't want to be fucking pitied. Like
Mhm.
I am not that type of person. I'm way too dominant of a personality. I'm like, I don't want to be pitied. And I'm like, what a sad way to live. Like the world actually doesn't owe you anything. Yeah, you had a shit card, like hand of cards dealt to you, but like so do so many other people. And then also like it's even more powerful of a story for you to just pick yourself back up and like go do something with that.
Mhm.
And people are just married to the victim mentality because it gives them something. For me, it gave me that excuse of like, well, I feel like you should make my life easier because of it. And so then I don't have to work as hard.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, their victimhood is comfortable and it makes them blend in with the people they're around. It's like, oh, well, like they complain too. And so now their benefit is community. Like people have a positive attribute. So to anybody listening, even if you feel like you struggle with victimhood mentality or just like getting down and be like, well, she can have it, but not me, and getting into the comparison, it's like, what benefit are you getting from that mentality?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing we actually have to work on if we're ever going to move past it.
Yeah, totally agree. And I love that we kind of dive in, like went into this first, because that was actually my first question was just like a lot of people know you for like if they listen to your podcast or if they go on your social media. I mean, you are freaking everywhere right now. I love it. I watch all of
Everywhere.
the places. Like I'm always one of those people that's like, oh, I'm messaging her right now. And also, by the way, I'm listening to your last your last girl boss thing. Like I'm doing that, like I'm constantly, you're always in my head.
Mhm.
But like people know you for this rich girl energy, the luxury identity, the manifestation, the content, the overall like boss bitch vibes. That's what they know you for. But
Mhm.
the question was going to be like, what was the version of you before all of this? Like the version of
Yeah.
you before boss bitch, rich girl Mikayla. So you were saying it's like that victim mentality. Was there anything that else that like went along with that, like before this woman that transformed into like, I'm not gonna take shit. I'm not gonna take shit from myself, from other people, nothing. Like I'm going all in. Like what was that version before that?
Yeah, I always say I was like a self-proclaimed pessimist on top of it. So there's like the victim side of me, and then I was so negative, which just feels so weird because I'm like such a different person. Like, that's so not me. I'm like, let's just believe big. Like, come
Yeah.
on, like we can fucking do this. But I just will never forget one time I was sitting in the car with my mom and just complaining about random things. And she was like, "You're being so negative." And I literally looked her in the eye. I'm like, "Well, I'm a pessimist. That's what we do. Like, we complain we're negative."
Duh.
That's so crazy that those words left my mouth, like at one point in my life, but like that was me before. And I think it's so cool to think about it and see the transformation because I was somebody who was angry at the world. I had a lot of resentment. I had a lot of victimhood. I had a lot of negativity. And then I had a moment in high school when I lived alone. My dad was in prison. I didn't live with my mom. And I was really faced with this moment of like, you can either not go to school, drop out, do whatever. I could just drop out, start working. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, my school's like, Michaela's late, Michaela's late, Michaela's late. No one's answering the phone. Like, it literally didn't matter. So it was like, I could just go that path and have no responsibility, just kind of fuck off, basically. Or I could like really go make something of myself. And I remember thinking, like, I don't want to be this statistic. So it's like, I could go take that path where it's like, I just excel and I don't let this bog me down. And I obviously chose that path. But that was before I even was into personal development, before I even was in this like rich girl mindset. So I remember taking that route. And honestly, it probably came from a little bit of like, fuck you, like, watch me go.
Watch
Honestly,
me
like,
do it. Yeah.
yeah, a little bit of like, I'm gonna go be petty and like go crush this. So I can kind of laugh in your face later. But then later on, like I remember having like one of my rock bottom moments when I was living in the house that I call the raccoon house. And it was this like awful home I lived in with like no air conditioning in like Nebraska summer. If you're a Midwest gal, you know it's hot, it's humid. No AC, there's no Wi-Fi. Like the floors are stained, the tub doesn't drain. Like there's a hole in the ceiling in the kitchen where a raccoon literally fell through. Like, and I just remember being in bed and I had gotten a full ride to college. I actually got paid to go to college. So I was like, okay, I'm really spitting in their faces. Like I'm going and I'm doing it. And I was getting ready like a couple months out from study abroad, which I had also gotten paid to study abroad. Like I was starting to manifest things without realizing living in this disgusting home and looking around, my room was like a hoarder's room, basically. Like all of this stuff had been crammed in, and then I was just given a space to live. And I'm like, I am meant for so much more than this. It's like one of those moments where you look around and you're just like, what the actual fuck is going on? Like, this is not the life I was meant to live. But for the first time, it came from this place of like, something's got to change and not the victim mentality of like, this is not supposed to be my life. You could go down like this is so sad path, but I think I've just been so fed up with my own shit. And I remember I looked in the mirror in the bathroom and I was like, something has to change and it has to start with me. And that was like the first time I feel like I stepped into like my rich girl identity where I was like, where you finally choose abundance, where you finally choose potential, where you choose to go create opportunity. And then from there, it was like, I'm going to set the world on fire in a good way. Like, I am going to trailblaze. I'm going to take over because I never want to be in a position like this ever again.
Yeah.
Ever again, where I'm living in a raccoon home. So it was like, that's like who I was before all this really took off. And then I went on this study abroad trip basically, and I was like, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to be negative. I'm not going to gossip. I'm not doing any of these negative habits that I knew were holding me back at home.
Mhm.
And I was really blessed with study abroad. You know, you're in a brand new environment. I studied abroad in France. I was in a different country. I didn't know anybody there. So it's so much easier to just put on this whole new identity when you don't know anybody, right? So I was like,
Right,
okay,
right.
well, let me take this opportunity. And it changed my entire life. It changed everything about me. So when I came back home, I knew, okay, here's the real work. Going back to your old environment, the people you're used to being around and your friends and those old habits want to come back in. That's when the real work started of like, okay, am I actually going to solidify this identity I created for myself? And I fell in love with who I became basically while being gone. So when I came back, I was like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Like I'm willing to do the work to be this person. And from there, I just like studied manifestation and mindset, like my life depended on it. And I was just so full in like the rich girl mentality that everything changed.
I love that. And whenever I hear the raccoon story, I'm always like, I've told my husband about it too, and he's like, "Excuse me,
Yeah.
what happened? A
Yeah.
raccoon fell where?" And I was like, "I
So
know,"
crazy.
but it's like it's all about the decision. Like that was the biggest thing. Like when you said that, I was like, yes, that is the thing that so many women are missing. Is they're like, I want these goals, and I think about them, and I want them, but like, how do I get them? And I'm not like this person, and woe is me. And it's like they don't make a decision. They say that
Yeah.
they want it, but then they don't do shit about it. And then it's like they throw themselves a pity party instead of actually figuring out what's going on. And like with your story talking about how, you had the raccoon thing happen. You could have made the decision to not do shit with school, not do anything like that, or even if it was for, I don't want to say the wrong reason, but the reason where it's like,
Right.
I just want to prove everybody wrong, right? Like
Yeah.
you made the decision. And then your next decision was, okay, I got this like scholarship. And the next decision was, okay, now I have, I'm going to study abroad. And like you continually made decisions. So if you want to know why she was able to manifest all this shit, is because she made the decision and she continued to push herself forward. It wasn't just that, like, because I hate it when people say, oh, well, you're so lucky. It's like, no, actually, I wasn't. I
Oh,
just
I am
made a
not lucky.
decision.
I'm actually actively unlucky sometimes. Like, truly. No, I totally agree with that too. It's like, no, it's not luck. And I like the lucky girl manifestation vibe. Like that was a trend like a
Yeah.
year or two on social media. So I'm like, no, I totally get that. But I'm like, babe, if you look at my timeline, there's not really luck going on here. It's just persistent, relentless, hard work. And then being like, I don't even need to call it hard. It's just challenging. It's like, it's easy, it's simple, or it's challenging. It's like, I'm just gonna put my head down. I'm gonna do what it fucking takes, you know?
Mhm.
And the decision piece is so important because if you don't make a decision, it's just this idea floating around, like you said. And every point in my journey, I can benchmark like powerful decisions that I made. Like I even remember I joined a business mastermind before I even had a business. I literally like lied to the coach on the sales call, and she knows this, and we talked about it later. But like we had a call. I was in LA on a solo trip. My wallet had been stolen. So I literally like, thank God TSA let me go home. I didn't even have an ID like leaving. I had basically no money. I had no wallet. Like I was stranded in LA. I was sleeping on a couch in an Airbnb where there was like 10 people. It was basically like a hostel. Like it was like very disturbing. Um I remember being on that trip. I had a sales call with this coach who was running this 6 month, $8,000 business mastermind. And I was like, I want in. And it had a retreat to Hawaii. And I was like, I want to go to Hawaii. Like, I want this. So I got on the phone. I told her my whole business, but it was really just my business plan. And she was like, you would be a great fit. Like, okay, it's the deposit's going to be $2,000. And I was like, I have $3,000 in PayPal, or sorry, I have $300 in PayPal in like a paper straw. Please let me in. Like, please. And I was like, okay, I have this, and then I can finish the deposit then. And for some reason, she let me in, and I sent over my last little $300 and joined. It was like, because I decided then, it was like, I knew I wanted to start this business. I knew that this was going to blow up and become my life's work, even though I was still in college studying something completely unrelated, which is French and fashion. I was like, I know that this is where I meant to go, and I want to be in this program. And I was like, I've never paid $8,000 for anything. I was like, this is crazy, but I had decided in that moment, and I did pay the deposit, and I made all my payments every single month. And it was just, I was 20 years old, no business, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and it was like, but that changed my life, and nothing was ever the same afterwards. And it all has to come from a decision. I was sitting in a coffee shop on this call, and I was like, I'm deciding this is where I'm going. And what I think people forget is they make the decision, but then they don't follow up with the hard work. Is they make the decision, they come up against one problem, and then they're like, oh man, I thought it was supposed to be easy. Never mind. And it's
Mhm.
like, that's where you really get into your rich girl mentality. Just because, like, I'd say, like, rich girl, it's like your abundance. You're the abundant version of yourself who is going to get her rich girl life. But it's like, when you're rich, you just go and you just solve the problems. So
Right.
you have to have the same mentality now. That's how I built having wealth and a multi-million dollar company. It's like, okay, here's a problem. Great. Money would solve this, but I don't have that at the beginning. So like, let me figure this out. And people forget that the decision is going to follow up with work because that's what's required to get there.
Yeah, the action. Like you have to decide, once you decide who you're going to be, you have to take the action of who you're becoming. And that's what a lot of like my work is in this
Yeah.
podcast and my whole business is like the identity glow up. But the first step for the identity glow up is the decision, right? Like
Mhm.
you can't just automatically be like, okay, well, I'm just going to take a bunch of actions either, because you're also not going to be taking actions in the right identity because you haven't made a decision. Because eventually, if you're just taking a bunch of willy-nilly actions for no rhyme or reason, you're not going to end up where you want to go because you haven't made that, like, I like to see it as like a map. Like when you make a decision, like this is where you're going. Once you decide where you're
Yeah.
going, then you're able to take the correct actions. And then people get technical with the correct actions, but whatever. Like you're able to take those actions, right? But the first step is that decision. And I see, like in my work, I see a lot of women that get stuck in
Mhm.
like the actions they should take and moving forward and how they should show up and even the decision itself. And I feel like the big part of that is because they're trying to create almost this new reality from an old identity, probably because they're
Mhm.
not making a decision, right? They're not making like truly making a decision to go all in. So what do you think that women misunderstand most about shifting their identity? Like after they make this decision, like what do you think that people misunderstand the most about shifting their identity to
Mhm.
into this like rich girl and stepping into their next level?
Yeah. Well, first of all, their first mistakes, they're not an ISP. So
Duh.
if you're following Paige, why aren't you in? Like, what's going on? Like, that's just wrong. Okay. So that's your first mistake. I think what people misinterpret about identity, I think when they think about the rich girl identity, they're like, okay, great. So she's got her hair done, her makeup done, her nails done. She's got this designer bag. She's driving her Range Rover. And like, you look at me and you're like, Mikayla, you were literally all those things. Yes, but that was because like that's what I wanted and I created it. But they just like think about this image and they're like, well, once I have that, that means I'm the rich girl. But you have to start being that version of you right now. It's not when you have an image, it's who you are on the inside. And then that's what goes and creates it. Because even back when I sent off my last $300 to join this program and the kind of 6 months that followed that, where I was really building up my business, finally, I literally launched my business like a month after when I was like in this high level mastermind. Everybody was already making like six figures. And I'm like, hi, I'm launching my very first program ever in like 3 weeks. Hello, my name's
3 weeks.
Mikayla Jai. You need to know who I am. But it was like, I was so in this like abundance mindset of like, well, I'm going to attract abundance and I know that I'm going to be able to use that to like go on beautiful trips. I'm going to use that and I'm going to be able to build savings and then I'm going to be able to get the bags and do the things. It's like all that's going to come, but it's because I am viewing the world through a lens of abundance. And a lot of times we look at things as like lack, it's expensive, the economy is crashing, like, whatever, a lot of money mindset issues we have. And I think one of the first things I ever worked on mindset work was my money mindset. I was like, if I want to have more money, I have to change my mindset around money. You hear people say, like, eat the rich are bad people. It's like, well, if you keep creating those associations, then you're never going to achieve that because you don't want to be associated with that. When people are like, rich people are bad or greedy or whatever you use that type of language. I was like, well, I'm not greedy and I'm not a bad person. So I don't want to say those things. I don't want to believe those things. And a lot of times we just think like, oh yeah, well, when I have this rich life that looks like this, then I'm going to be a rich girl. But then you've got all this drama in the middle that we don't deal with. So for me, it was really like, how can I view things from abundance right now? If I was that version of myself, how would she think? She would solve problems like, no worries, no big deal. Like, oh, there's an issue. You need an extra deposit you weren't expecting. Okay, no worries. I'll figure it out. Oh, this flight's way more expensive than I thought, and I already committed to going on the trip. Okay, no worries. I'll figure it out. I'll find a way. And that's where I really started to come up with my ideology of responding versus reacting. And I think a lot of people end up going into this scarcity and lack because they're reacting to everything. Oh my God, the flight's so expensive. I didn't expect that. Scarcity. Like, oh my God, how am I going to afford this? Scarcity. Oh my, I don't know. I didn't expect that. Scarcity. And I always was like, okay, rich girl Mikayla would just handle it. It would be no problem because she's got the money in the bank. Do I have that right now? No, but I'm going to act as her right now. I'm going to view everything as her right now because that's who then I become that person. So it was really like changing my perception of reality, changing my responses to things, changing my relationship with money and how I talked about money, how I talked about rich people, how I thought about rich people. Because I'm like, well, if I want to be a rich girl, then I need to think that I can be a good person at the same time. And then all of that stacks up, but that's not quote unquote easy. That's not like the fun work. That's the messy middle work that people need to realize they're going to have to do.
Yeah. And I love that. I almost feel like what you were talking about is almost like the
Hmm.
standards of a rich girl and not reacting and not like responding, but just like, or I guess more responding instead of reacting. And I feel like so
Hmm.
often we react to things that are happening in our life instead of
Yeah.
just like, what would, I like to say next level me, or what would rich
Yeah.
girl me do, or
Mhm.
whatever. Like, what would that person do? And it's all about responding instead of that reaction. I also love because it brought up the almost like an act as if. And I like to say
Yeah.
embody it until you become it. Because I feel like sometimes when we think of like acting as if, it's almost like this fake thing. But the thing
Fake it till you
is,
make it kind of
yeah, fake it till you
too.
make it. But to me, like, I don't want to fake it because I'm
Yeah.
not faking it if that's who I'm becoming. And so,
Mhm.
again, going back to the decisions, like, I have decided that I'm going to be a seven-figure business owner one day. How? I don't know, but I'm going to. And so, how do I embody that version of me, that rich girl version of me, which may look different than like my rich girl version is going to look different than Michaela's rich girl version, which is going to look different than yours. Like, it's going to look different. But, like,
Yeah.
how can I embody that until I become that? And that doesn't mean I'm spending hundreds of $1,000s a day, like
Yeah,
millionaire
literally.
me.
You're
You know what
not
I mean?
buying a
Like,
private jet every single week to be a
I'm
rich
not
girl.
exactly, I'm not doing that, but it's about the standards of what you're doing. So, do you have any other like standards that you feel like a rich girl, standards or decisions that you feel like a rich girl makes in that, like when you're changing your identity into that rich girl identity?
Yeah, discipline is like biggest one. And I know we both like value this so
Yeah.
much as individuals. Discipline changed my life because I think one area that I really struggled for a long time with stepping into the rich girl version of myself was my avoidance tendencies. I was always like, sweep it under the rug. I'll deal with it later. I'll push it off. I'll get to it when I get to it. Because a lot of times growing up, like things were very like hush hush. Like people weren't like tackling things head on. There weren't like direct conversations and whatever. And I think that's why I'm so like direct, dominant, borderline aggressive at times now because I'm like, okay, I'm not avoiding shit. Like we're dealing with this right now. Like we are gonna put this on the table now. But I really struggled with that because there's so much avoidance in my life. And I remember a point where I was like, I can't keep avoiding things. It was adding so much anxiety and overwhelm into my life that I didn't need. It was like, oh, well, I would avoid an email, or I would avoid a conversation, and I would avoid something that I keep saying I'm going to get done. And I realized like I'm constantly breaking these promises to myself. And I didn't trust myself. It's like I did, but then I didn't at the same time. It's like I know I'm going to get shit done, get where I'm going to go, but I also am breaking my word every step of the way. And when there's not congruence in your alignment, then you're not going to manifest the thing that you want. So I
Mhm.
realized like, okay, this is overwhelming me because I'm just stacking on, stacking on. I'm telling myself I'm going to do it and then I don't. And that's got to fucking go. I
Yeah.
was like, I don't want to spend the rest of my life avoiding things. And I actually knew, I remember thinking this I was when I very first moved to LA from Nebraska. And I was like, I can't keep avoiding things or I'm never going to get to where I want to go. And at the time, I think my business had brought in, excuse me, brought in like $1 million at that point, or almost $1 million. And I was like, well, if I want to create a multi-million dollar business, I can't keep avoiding things. Like I literally won't be able to manage that. Like I could never bring on a team member if I'm constantly avoiding messages. Like I can't avoid the team members' messages or they can't do their job. I can't avoid social media or like how am I going to keep blowing up these programs? Like I just realized I'm like that is just not going to add up and not going to make sense.
Hmm.
So I had this a really cutthroat thing I started doing, which was taking cold showers. And I was like the only way I could figure out how to break my avoidance tendency was to take 3 minute cold showers every single day. And sometimes, I actually haven't shared this before, multiple times a day. Like, if I was feeling a moment of resistance and I couldn't get through it, I'd be like, well, then we have to go take another cold shower. Like, there is
That's like
just,
a
you have,
torture device for me. Like, no, I
yeah,
don't want
it
to.
pretty much was. Like, growing up, my dad was in the Marines. So, like, if we got in trouble, I was like doing burpees. Like, we were like physically like being punished. And so I think that that is like something that's an easy thing for me to do. It's like, all right, well, go do 10 burpees. All right, hop back in the shower. Like, we like take another cold shower because when you're in the cold shower, especially if you have like a smaller shower, like there's nowhere to go. You can't back out of the cold water. It's just there and you're just dealing with it. And even when you first step in, there's no avoiding. You just kind of have to like three, two, one, now we're in. And I had to do that to start building real discipline because to create discipline, I had to get rid of the avoidance. And I think that's something people miss. They don't think about what they need to remove. They're just like, well, let me go do this now. And it's like, well, you weren't there because of this thing for a really long time.
Mhm.
And to be a rich girl, you've got to be disciplined because you need to be disciplined with your money in general. You need to be disciplined about your mindset. Rich girls have an abundance mindset, and that takes work. Like you're going to have moments that maybe you feel friction. Maybe you feel like, oh my God, this is a big investment. Like, oh my gosh, I'm spending a lot of money on this. Like, oh my God, I'm putting a huge amount in my investment account. Like, there's going to be that. So you have to have discipline around your mindset. You absolutely need to have discipline around your body. Like fitness and health and movement is so important to me. I work out 6 days a week. I have 7 workouts planned this week. So I'm a psychopath. Like you have to have this type of discipline if you're going to go and create big results in your life. So that's another piece of the identity that has to be solidified is discipline.
Yeah. I don't know if you're rubbing off on me if we're just like the same person, but I talk about discipline all the time. And also I work out every single day. I wake up
Yep.
at 4:15 most days of the week. Like all weekend long, I was waking up at 5:15. And I literally told my husband this weekend, I said, I'm a psychopath. He was
Yeah.
like, why are you a psychopath? I said, I have this scheduled. I have this scheduled. I have all these balls up in the air. I'm trying not to drop. Like, I'm just like, I'm constantly needing to do something. But I think that's because, not because like I'm desperate and not because like I'm oh my God, like I have a full-time job, so I don't need the money, but it's just because I want to. And because
Yeah.
I feel this pull and because I'm so disciplined. We talk a lot about this in Identity Switch Protocol, where it's like, and hell, even Standards of a Self-Obsessed Woman, where I'm like, your schedule is so freaking important. And if you can't adhere to your schedule, if you don't like, you say you want to do something and then you don't, first of all, you're losing any trust that you have built up in yourself, which is the worst. But
Yeah.
also, like, you are losing any, like, you have to have discipline. You
If
have
you
to
don't
have
have
some
it, you
kind
have
of
nothing.
discipline. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't, and then you bitch and complain that you don't have the time. I'm like, girl, let's be honest. Let me look at your screen time, please and thank you. Because it's
No,
all,
seriously, like show me your calendar. I just did a podcast episode about this last week.
yes.
Show me your
Yep.
calendar. I'll tell you what your income is. Like I can't, because I'll be able to instantly see what your priorities are. You
Hmm.
might think your priorities are something, but if I look at your calendar and it's like half open and big bubbles, and like your workouts aren't in the calendar, you're not putting aside time to like post content, work on your business, work on your mindset, like then those aren't your priorities. And it's cutthroat, but that's what it fucking takes. And I
Yeah.
think that there is a big phase of even like business and personal development online for a couple of years. I was like, well, you can do it the soft girl way. And like, we're doing business in the bathtub. And I even had an era like that. I had probably like 6 months where I was like, every time I take a bath, I make money. And now I'm like, oh my God, please, for the love of God, like go back, delete the post. Like, I'm sorry to
No more
anybody.
bats.
Don't listen to that. I'm sorry. Which was like, it's true. Yeah, like I could take a bath and make money, but it's because of the work that I put in, not because I was
Mhm.
taking a bath listening to frequency music. Okay, that's not why it was happening.
Yep.
And people forget how key the discipline is. Like you have to have, if you're going to be a rich girl in the mindset way, literally financially rich, rich with time freedom, choices, convenience at your fingertips, you can't do it without having standards because you're going to blow the money if you don't have standards. And
Yeah.
that's the other half of it. If we're talking about like money side of things too, it's like if you don't have discipline around your money, you're not going to have money. I have like seen this so many times. Even I started making a lot of money very young, and I had blown money a lot when I was young. I was just like having so much fun. I'm like, oh, great, I'm making so much money. I can go and I can spend out it all, and it's all good. And it was like I was making a lot of money, but I was spending a lot of money. And that was before I had discipline. So I was like, okay, now we've got to be disciplined. Now I've got to, put some of these things into place because the rich girl version of you would have that.
Hmm.
But you've got to have, if you don't have the standards, then you're not going to be able to hold that version of you in that lifestyle. And that's the whole point of doing all this work half the time. It's like you do the identity work, you do the mindset work, the manifestation work, so that you can go create a life that you're so proud of living, as a version of yourself that you are proud to be. When you're constantly dropping the ball in old habits, you're not feeling that way.
Yeah. Yeah. No more baths, only cold showers. Uh,
Only only cold showers.
only cold showers. And I think too, like putting it more on like the mom side of things, because I could see moms now. I can hear them being like, well, I have all of these things where I'm like, I'm having to put in like my standards on my kids. I'm disciplined with my money, but I need to put it all towards my kids. And what I say to that is, no, you freaking don't. You also need to put money towards yourself. You also need to put money towards your business and your dreams because when you're happier and your standards are higher in your business and in your life, and when you're obsessed with yourself and when you're dedicated to yourself and your business and your dreams, you're going to have happier kids. Like you're going to
Yeah.
have all of this, like they're going to be happier too. And so, like, yeah, you can have these standards around your money when it comes to how you're spending and all of that too. But also, like, it doesn't have to all go to your kids, it can
Mhm.
go to you. And I think that there's so many, and I had to learn this the hard way too, because I was somebody that went through like the soft life and let's just like only do like soft like things and manifest everything without doing like, but the thing is that you get to have the soft life like with your kids. You get to have these moments with your kids. You get to go do the soft life things, but also for me, when I'm going towards my business, like I'm spending money on my business. I'm all right now, all my money is investing back into my business and investing back into coaches and investing back into like my rich girl lifestyle. Because if I'm a rich girl, then my kids are rich boys. They're boys,
Rich
not
boys.
rich boys.
Rich
And then,
guys.
yeah, and then they get to have a more fulfilled life too. So it's about balancing out those standards of like, what does that look like in the discipline when it comes to your business, your time, your schedule, putting in your kid stuff in your schedule too. But don't you be using those kids as an excuse because that pisses me off when women are using
Yeah.
their kids as an excuse to not go after their dreams, to not do the workout, to not make the decision, to not have the discipline, to not save money for themselves. Like it drives me bonkers. So I just had to put in that little thing because I feel
Put
like
it
there's a
in
lot of
there,
moms.
girl.
There's a
It's like
lot of moms that
it
are.
should be like your motivation. And I'm not a
Mhm.
mom, so I don't usually speak on it because I just can't, I can't relate, can't speak on this situation. But like I view it as like I have so many clients who are moms, and it can be, and it is most of the time a source of inspiration and motivation. It's like I want to be the best mom. I want my kids to be able to do whatever they want, join a million clubs. If they want to study abroad in Switzerland, I want to be able to pay for that later. Like that should be like an exciting thing. Like even manifesting like, oh my gosh, these like luxury family trips. Like imagine being able to take your boys like on a first class trip to Greece as a family. Like incredible. Like I think about that stuff. I'm like, let it be a reason to like keep pushing forward. And I've been having this conversation with my husband recently about like generational wealth too. It's like when we're thinking about this rich girl lifestyle and like the identity of who you're becoming so you can execute on your goals, so you can achieve more. It's like don't forget the whole point is so you can build this generational wealth where it's like that goes down to your kids, yes, but it lifts up your whole life. Like you
Yeah.
could then buy tons of real estate properties that like your kids can then move into. And it's like then you get to take that off of their plate. Like yeah, there's just so many things you can do with the money, but there are actually so few people that are really going for that. I was just talking about this with my husband yesterday. Like, so few people that are actually prioritizing, like going out, making money, building wealth so that they can go create this incredible lifestyle that they would be so happy in. That's like, then you have it if you want your life to look more soft girl, great, because now you actually have the support for that. It's just people want to do the soft girl thing and then they want to complain they don't have what they want. That's where I have an issue. Big sourdough and take tennis lessons when you've got millions of dollars in the bank, babe, then it's no
Yeah.
issue. Like, then your money is making money for you. But so few people are actually going for it. And that's why I've been talking so much more online about like social media needs to become your money manifestation tool this year. Like, it needs to become your money manifesting machine because you need to be focused on doing that. Like, you need to take this seriously. And so few people take building wealth seriously, take their rich girl self seriously, where they're actually implementing these standards on a regular basis, where they're actually using the resources literally on your phone to go do that.
hmm Yeah, and I like when it comes to that, like where do you feel like women are playing small? Like where do you feel like
Mm.
or what do you think women are settling for right now? Like what are they settling for? What are they where are they playing small that they don't even realize? Because a lot of people, especially with content, and you're a freaking content genius, a lot of people are like, well, I'm posting. I'm showing up. I'm checking the box. I'm doing the thing. They said to post this many times. They said to do the reel. Like I'm doing the thing, but it's not working. So, like, where do you feel like people are settling with that and just playing small?
They settle with putting out whatever is like easy and like no brainer, whatever they've got, they've got. They settle by being a version of themselves that they think they need to be for social media, right?
Mhm.
Perfect example would be moms because there's so much friction around this. It's like, oh, if you want to become like a mom influencer, for example, it's like, well, you want to look like a super mom, of course, right? Like you want to look like you do it all and the house is clean and your husband's happy and you're hot and in great shape. You want to make it look all like super perfect and easy. But like you're going to have days where you're like, fuck, I am building this business and I'm posting this content and like I'm cooking dinner and a kid is sick and this and this and that. But then there's no like humanness that you're bringing to social media. You don't bring the elements of your actual personality. You just bring the super mom side
Mhm.
forward because you want to look a certain type of way. And what people really want on social media is they want to learn, they want to grow, they want to connect, and they want to feel empowered. Okay. And they're not going to be able to learn and grow when you're just always showing this like picture perfect version of you. What people actually want to see is like, oh my God, you guys, I actually had a fucking meltdown today, and this is how I got through it. Like, I know that I need to hold these standards for myself. And I had my 5 minutes in the bathroom, and then my kids still came in the bathroom, and I didn't yell, and I just took a deep breath. And like, this is how I'm going to like turn my day around. It's like, people need to see who you actually are and see the things that you go through. Like that's why I share so openly about my story and like struggles I've been through. It's like I have had a parent that's been in prison multiple times. I lived alone for a really from a really young age. Like I was like the core victimhood mindset, like the prime example of a victimhood mindset. And it's like, but this is how I got out of it. And like this reminds you can pull yourself through. But people are afraid of being vulnerable. They don't bring out what I call their it factor, which is like your secret sauce. What's so special about you? What makes you so unique and impactful? They don't bring it out because they want to look picture perfect. They want to look like the super mom. They want to look like their house is perfect. They want to look like they never struggle with anything. And so they end up playing small. And because
Mhm.
then they're not really consistent because how often are you actually perfect? Hardly ever. Like how often are things actually
Never.
put together? Literally fucking never. So then they're either not consistent or they're just posting stuff that's not actually them. So people don't feel it. And then they're like, oh, it's just not working. And it's like, yeah, because nobody feels you. You're not even being yourself.
Yeah, trying to be the perfect mom on social media is so 2016. That's
It's
so
so
like it
2016.
is.
Ugh.
It's so last season. No, but it's like I will even go on, and I love my children, and I'll say this, but I'll even go like on my podcast, and they've heard me say this before, where like, yeah, my children are they're sometimes a pain in my ass. Like they're being an ass today. Like and but like who doesn't actually like I love my
Yeah,
kids. It doesn't mean I don't love them, but I'm not going to be on here and be like, my kids are perfect angels and they never do anything wrong. And I'm always the perfect mom and I never have a meltdown and I never scream at them. Never, ever. Like, that's such an unrealistic standard to hold up to. And no one's going to want to hire you because they're going to think that it's like, there's no possible way that I can do that, first of all.
exactly.
Second of all, it's just not real. And I feel like we
No.
need to be showing ourselves we need to be showing ourselves like online more of who we truly are because then people actually get to know who we are and what they're not like surprised when they do like
Yeah.
work with us, right? They're not surprised. So I think always allowing yourself to like be totally real and honest, but also don't go on there and be like, oh my gosh, my kids were such assholes today and I just hate my life. And then not have a resolution because that
Yeah.
is more of like what you call more of like the influencer side of things and less of
Mhm.
like the actual business owner. Because for me,
Yeah.
I always want to come back to my coaching. I want to on my social media because that is my business. It's my business card essentially, my social media. So I always want to come back to how I shifted this from a mindset point of view or from an identity point of view, or just like you don't want to show people the open wound. Like if you want to show people the scab, that sounds gross, but you know what I mean. Go
Yeah.
go for it. Like if you want to show people that part where like this is what I did about it, then go for it. But don't be making social media like an open bitch fest, but also show your real life about like how you've gotten through certain things because people do need to learn from that. And they're not going to learn from you trying to be online and being perfect mom because
Yeah.
it's just literally not
It's
possible.
not your diary. Like it's I think people like take two approaches. They either it's like diary overshare, adding to the noise, adding to the problem, or there's like the perfection, super mom, everything looks good. I only show up in the way that I think people need to see. And it's actually in the middle where like everything gets better because
Yeah.
there's the side of like showing the vulnerabilities, the things you've gone through and how you resolve it. Always bringing it back to your expertise. Always, 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 or else you're just like talking to the wind. That's why it's not working. Like, what's the point? Okay. So always bring it back to your expertise. Then on the other side, we take into an if factor conversation, this is where I think people play it small, is maybe they do show up and they're like, yeah, I am providing solutions and tips and tricks and I'm, talking to people about my expertise, but they don't feel it because you're not giving the full story of who you are. And this is something that I love talking about. Part of my it factor is the fact that I'm a psychopath and I'm a savage and I'm like, oh, like I'm like obsessive about achieving my goals.
Mhm.
And when I talk about it factor, it's like what people love about you, like what is special about you. Like it's part of your story, it's your personality, but it's really like this feeling that you just innately have. And it's why things work for you. And what I see online so often in content is they'll give the tips and the tricks and the funnel and the strategy and whatever, but they don't give the personality trait that actually made it work. They don't give the identity. Like you have to have the full picture. And so in all of my programs, I'm like, you need to be obsessive about this shit. Like that's why this works, is because I am obsessed. Like that's why I can create these manifestations, because I am a psychopath. I'm going to keep taking action. Like I am literally crazy. I'm going to keep believing in myself every step of the way. That's my it factor. That's why it works. And then people leave that out in their content. So it's like they might show up, share, or show up vulnerably and share and give tips and bring it back to their expertise. But then are you actually sharing who you are as a human? And I think people are afraid of that. I was even afraid to show that a couple of years ago. I didn't bring that up in my work so much. I gave more of the solutions and the education because I'm like, well, people tell you like be detached from your manifestations, like don't be so obsessed, or like don't come off like some type of way. Like you don't want people to know you work every day. Like what if they don't want that? And there's
Right.
just a point where I ended up attracting the clients that I didn't enjoy working with because like they weren't as in it as I was. And it's because I wasn't bringing that conversation forward. So it wasn't hitting for the right people. And once I started to be like, you guys, I'm like literally fucking crazy. Like I am literally crazy. It gives so many of my clients permission to actually go be crazy in the way they want to. And it's
Mhm.
like, I love working every day. I never ever tell my clients to work every day. It's like you get to work as much as you want, fulfilling your business on your terms. But it's like, but if I bring out my content, then I bring those types of people in that are just as obsessed. That's what makes it work more. But people are settling because they either want it to look perfect, or they're using social media as a diary, or they're sharing tips and tricks, but they're not bringing themselves into their content. That's why it doesn't end up becoming this like money manifestation machine. Like if you really brought yourself to your social media, you would make more sales, you would have more eyeballs on your page. People would be like, when's the next podcast? When's the next thing?
Mhm.
What's the next drop? I want to be in every program. I want to come to every in-person event. Like put me in everything because they want more of that energy. I always say they want to inject that energy into their veins. Like, so then they're going to want to be in all the things. So I think that's where people play small as well.
Yeah. Do you think that that's like the biggest mistake that people are making with their content right now? Or what do you think that that is, especially if they're wanting this like rich girl lifestyle, like they're wanting to make money from their content. They're wanting to actually have not just like post their content and be like, okay, done. And then it get like 5 views and their mom likes it. Like they're actually wanting to like show up and make money from their content. What do you think is
Yeah.
like the biggest mistake that you're seeing people make with that right now?
It's the it factor and then like how much people are selling. Honestly, like this is like one of the things I talk about all my clients when they start working with me. I'm like, you're not selling every day. What's going on here? Like you want to be making money every single day, but you're not actively selling every day. And I think that that comes from a various amount of reasons. Working with people in the past that tell you don't sell every day, don't be overly salesy, you're going to overwhelm people. There's like coaches out there like that because that's how they run their business and it works for them and that's really great. Not my mentality, but so they come from coaches that tell them that. They come from programs that tell them you need 6 weeks to warm people up. Don't sell. Make sure they're in a, like whatever. Like people actively tell you not to sell, and it's like literally crazy. Like Target sells every single day, all of the
Yeah,
time. Even when they're
exactly.
closed, they're
Look at your
everything's
email.
for sale. Yeah, I'm like, what is going on? So like there's that. And then there's lacking confidence, and that's why people don't sell every day. Or they're just like, I haven't gotten this sign up, so I'm going to stop talking about it. Clearly, people aren't interested. Like, there's so much mental drama that comes up with that. And so it's like they're not bringing their it factor forward. They show up and they post content, but they're not telling people why it works and giving them a buy-in. Like, being savage and being crazy is like a buy-in to my brand. People are like, yeah, I want to be savage. I want to be crazy. I want to take my relentless energy to another level. Like, yeah. So then there's no buy-in and then they're not selling to people. And then they're like, well, it's flopping. I'm not making sales every day. It's like, well, people don't even know that they can pay you. And then you're not giving them a reason to pay because you're not giving them anything to like inject in their veins, basically. They're just saving your post. They got what they needed and they moved on. So that would be why.
Yeah, when you were saying that, I'm like, oh shit, she's calling me out because that was me. I didn't sell every day. I don't know if no somebody didn't tell me to sell every day, if it was just like one of those things where I'm like, oh, I don't need to. I don't want to be in people's face every day. I don't want to like, I don't want them to think that I'm salesy. I don't want them to like,
Yeah.
like it's this weird. And plus, most of us start our social media account with family and then we kind of convert
Yeah.
it, I feel like, into like a business. I feel like that's what most of us do anyway. That's what I did. And
Mhm.
so a lot of my family, a lot of high school friends, a lot of college friends, a lot of
Yeah.
like I was always nervous about that until it got to the point where, I was in your programs and you've helped me with my content and all of that. And it's just like you have to sell. If you want to be a business owner, you have to sell. That's part of it. But it's also a scary part of it, which goes back to like that dedication, like making that decision, being in the identity of someone who is a business owner, because you better believe your seven-figure self is going to be selling every day because
Yeah.
duh. Like I was in this point where it was a couple years ago where I was like, I haven't made any sales in a couple months. Why is that? Well, no shit, Sherlock. You literally haven't sold anything. Like, what are people supposed to do? Like,
Yeah.
just hit you up and be like, yeah, let me pay a couple grand to work with you. Like, no, that's not how it works. You have to show
Yeah.
up and you have to actually sell. And sometimes when you're smaller, maybe you have to reach out privately in DMs and because I think that's, people are like, well, I want to sell the way that these big wigs sell. I'm like, you know what? We got to pivot sometimes. We got to do things that work for us.
Yeah.
But also, if you're not selling at all, you're not going to make any sales. So
You've
you
got
got
to
to,
put yourself out there. Like you've
yeah.
got to really go for it. And
Mhm.
at the beginning of my business, I remember like I was selling every single day because it's like, well, I need to go make this money. Like I'm going to show up. And I think we get in our head about who's watching, of course, and then like, oh, well, people haven't bought the last X amount of days. Like maybe I'm annoying them. Like they're hearing it again and again. It's like, but there's new people on your social media every single day. One, like I have been promoting my free masterclass for like over a week now. And
Yeah.
every day I post about it, there are new people coming through my social media that are signing up. There's people coming in through our affiliates, but like also from mine. And it's like I've posted on my stories about it almost every fucking day since it dropped. And there's new people watching. People delete social media off their phone for a weekend. They go on a work trip. They're just not on their phone. They've got weddings. Like life is happening. People aren't constantly keeping up with what you're doing as much as we would love to think they are. And your like ride or die clients absolutely are, but not everybody. And it's like, so keep selling, keep promoting, keep putting it in people's faces because not everyone's seeing it.
Hmm.
And sometimes people need reminders, right? Like people will tell me like, "Oh yeah, I was going to sign up for your program like once I was done driving." Like maybe they're at a red light scrolling on their phone, people are. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, I wanted to sign up for this $33 thing." And then they just completely forgot because now they're driving home. And they're
Yeah.
like, "Well, I saw your like 17th email about it." And you're like, "Thank God, I meant to sign up for that." And it's like, yes, like I do it because I know people are busy. People are distracted. People are
Mhm.
thinking about 700 things all of the time. They need that reminder. So don't be afraid to like really put it in people's face while at the same time like don't be afraid to let them actually see who you are because
Yeah.
that's going to make them more eager to get in as well. Like when I say like, hey, I'm doing this 5-day challenge like I did in March, I'm like about how you need to start taking shit seriously. People are like, oh my God, Mikayla's locking in. What's going on? I need to be in. And it's why we made thousands of dollars from a low ticket masterclass. That was like, or I guess a challenge, whatever. But it's like, oh yeah, like Mikayla's locking in. I want to lock in. Let me get inside. And then
Yeah.
I'm talking about it all hours of the day in all the places. It's inevitable that you're going to start to turn social media into your money manifesting machine.
Yeah. By the way, I did my first ever cold shower because of that challenge, by the way.
Amazing. That was your first one? Oh
I
my
don't
gosh.
do cold showers. Not my thing. I would rather sit, actually, I wouldn't rather sit in a bath either. I want a hot shower. I don't want a cold shower.
Yeah.
But I like, with that and your challenges and everything are so freaking good, and I have been, I think, in everything that you've ever done within the last like year and a half, like I feel like I'm
Yeah,
constantly
pretty
getting new
much.
things. Yeah, because I can't help it. Like you get, because you're posting about it so much and you are showing people who you are showing people your lifestyle, you're showing people how you got there. It's all based on the content you're putting out there. Like you're not showing up and being like, oh, that content didn't perform as well as the others, so I guess I'm not going to post today. I guess I can't anymore. Like, no, you're like, oh shit, well, Next one, I'm going to tell you
Next.
about this. I'm going to tell you about this. Like I'm running, and you're like one of the only people I know that will run like, or maybe not. Maybe one of the only people that I know will run like two or three different things at one time. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I was always told not to do that. So I'm seeing you do that. And I'm like, oh,
Oh,
okay, you can
yeah.
do that. Like, but it's because you're and I'm not confused, which is what people say. Like, people get
Yeah.
confused if no, you're showing up, you're posting the content, you're posting like a rich girl, you're making money from it. Like, you are doing the damn thing because you decided years ago that's who you were becoming. You shifted into that identity and you're just like, continually growing that identity over and over and over again, right? All because, or like, and it's really, what's the word I want to use? It's based on, or it's showing through your content because you are the freaking content genius. You are showing up. You've been making money in content for how long? Like I think you said 7 or 8. Is it 7 years
Almost
now?
8 years.
Yeah.
August will be my 8-year business anniversary.
8 years of making content, showing up, making money from it, and making like six figures like every single year because of the content, because you decided who you were, because of your standards, because of the content that you're putting out. You're not just putting out any like bullshit content. You're putting out content that actually converts, that actually has
Yeah.
made you into a rich girl to have that rich girl lifestyle. So, since we are on the topic of content and making money and making
Yeah.
good money and becoming that rich girl, I think this is the perfect time, and you kind of already touched on it. I think it's the perfect time for you to plug that free masterclass of yours that actually will start today, the day that this launches. I'm going to
Oh my
send this
gosh.
out the next day. So tell us all about it. Tell us all about the Rich Girl Masterclass.
So we are literally, as you guys are listening to this, starting today with my 3-day Rich Girl Masterclass. This is a completely live, free experience of me coaching you, teaching you, mentoring you over the next 3 days on how to manifest your rich girl lifestyle by posting content that sells for you. That is my secret sauce. That is what I've been doing for 8 years. I have built over a $2 million company by posting on social media, which is so crazy to think about. If we like actually like just sit and think, it's so normal now to make money through social media, but it's like, oh my God, I make millions of dollars starting when I was 20 years old through social media is nuts. And I have found, as being a manifestation mentor for so long, like the easiest way for you to start to manifest your rich girl lifestyle, whether that is your health, your freedom, wealth, clients, like literally anything, is through social media. You want to manifest more friends, more like-minded individuals, you can find them on social media. You want to find the love of your life? I know people who met on social media who are married, who just had their first kid. Like, social media. You want to make millions of dollars on social media? You can do that. That's what I did. Like, you want to travel the world? You can create those opportunities on social media.
Yeah.
And it's just become so apparent to me over the last year. I'm like, this is actually the how. So many people struggle with how in manifestation, and there's a million hows. But I'm tired of having conversations with women that are waiting for a random check in the mail to come in for them to like make a power move in their life. Like,
Mhm.
you don't like, yes, we're going to pick up the pennies we find on the ground. When you find 20 bucks in a Target parking lot, it's amazing. But like, that's not creating generational wealth for you. Like, let's use social media to actually become a system of like, this is how I'm going to go create everything that I want to create. And it's just so obvious to me now after kind of starting to think about it in this way of like, oh my gosh, anything you want to manifest, we can actually create a system through social media for you to do that from you posting on your phone. So for the next 3 days, I'm going to be walking you guys through how to do that, what's going wrong on your social media, why things aren't converting, what makes content, like the type of content that actually sells for you, and so many more things. So many more things, because my goal is to create 100 content millionaires. Like, I want to take 100 women and I want to turn them into millionaires just from them posting content alone. Now, you can make X amount through content. We throw it in the stock market and it hits a million, and that still counts for me. But I'm like, I want to make 100 women millionaires by
Mhm.
posting content, because it really is that simple. It's not always going to be easy, but it is simple. And when you are savage, psycho obsessed like I am, it is inevitable, truly. So we've got a 3 free day experience. You absolutely need to be in. It's going to be nuts. My free and low ticket masterclasses are next level. They're next level. You're going to wish the sessions were 4 hours long. You have to be there.
They will be 4 hours long because you're going to rewatch them over and over and over again. Like I can't tell
Truly.
you how many times I've like rewatched modules that you've done, free master classes that you've done, like as I'm on my hot girl walk, like you're so inspiring, but more than that, like you do the damn work. So it's not just like a
Yeah.
motivational speaker, like you're showing us, you're teaching us how to do it. You're teaching us how to get to that next level because you've done it. It's not
Yeah.
like you guessing and estimating and thinking maybe this will work. I don't know. Like you are showing us what to do. And I can tell you, like, based off of all of the free master classes that I've attended from you, this like the past one that was the March Madness one that was the low ticket, like it literally felt like a couple $1,000 program like wrapped up like
Should have
it
been.
was yeah it should have been exactly it was so good. And so I can only imagine what you're going to bring to this. And I don't know all the ins and outs. I know a little bit of what's happening. She's told me a little bit even as a client, but I am just as excited as you guys are ready to go. I actually have a link just for you guys to join. I'll put that in the show notes, to be able to join the masterclass and be in there with me. You said there's over like 300 already signed up to be able to go to the free
Yeah.
masterclass too.
There's almost 400 women. When I checked this morning, we're like just about to cross 400.
Yes.
We're gonna break the Zoom room. It's gonna be crazy. I have women messaging me being like, "I'm in Denmark. Is there a replay?" And I'm like, "Yes, welcome." I
Always.
don't know how to say hello in Danish, even though I am Danish. I'm like, "Oh, yes, of course, there's gonna be a replay." So for anybody who busy mom, you've got things going on, kids got sports, you can't sit down and Zoom with us. There's absolutely going to be replays, but I highly, highly, highly suggest you come live because it is just a magnetic energy that you're going to want to be a part of.
Yes, I'm going to be working during the times that they are live, I think, but I will still have my phone propped up. Don't tell my job. I will still have my phone propped up watching live because I want you want to be in the energy of like the live room, especially with that many people that are going to be there, the manifestations that are going to happen, the things you're going to learn. Like it's going to be incredible. I'm so freaking excited. So I'll
I can't wait. I'm so
yes.
pumped. And like this masterclass is like one of the biggest ones I'm going to do all year, where it's like one of the biggest free masterclasses I'm going to do all year. And it's like I have the things I've planned is actually absolutely crazy. And the point of the conversation that I actually really want to start bringing forward in the masterclass is like 5-figure months need to become your bare minimum. Like in this day and age, your life changes after you start making 5-figure months. Like I've been making multi 5-figure months for years and years and years now, but I'll never forget starting to make 5-figure months and breaking past that. My life was never the same. Your level of freedom instantly increases, your taxes change, but like your life changes, like everything changes from there. You like instantly realize how many more options you have. It's it's life-changing money. And some people would say, like, oh, well, it's not that much nowadays, but like it is 6 figures is life-changing money. And I want women to realize like you can make 5 figures online consistently. That can become your bare minimum and your life will never be the same.
Yes.
So I can't wait to see you all there
It's going to
live
be
tonight.
yeah, exactly. Tonight. Yeah. And it's going to be total rich girl vibes, giving you exactly what you need to do and extra steps on how to get there, which you will soon find out. It's going to be so incredible and I cannot wait. So, like I said, the link will be in the show notes for that. I did have one more thing I wanted to touch on. Thank you for, I know this is a little bit longer than most of my podcasts, but excuse me, I wanted to touch on one more thing because I feel like adding on to that, like we're going to be in a Zoom room. So we're not, obviously, we're connected, but not really. We don't have that like proximity, right? But I feel like proximity is something, especially with the coaching world and growing your business world and taking the next step and all of that, it's massively underestimated. And it's something that like people are like, oh, I don't know. I like, they don't go like in person to things anymore. And I feel like it's so underestimated. And I know I am going to be in person for a couple of things this year. But what actually shifts when someone like gets in the room? Of course, the virtual room as well. But when someone gets in
Yeah.
the room with you where you can actually learn and grow around so many other amazing women, the virtual room and like the physical in-person room.
Being in person has changed my life. Like, I love to speak from experience, and same thing with my clients. Like, when I catapulted my personal development journey, it was during my study abroad trip. Like, I shared, like, I was in a space where it's like, I didn't know anybody. I was in a new environment. I remember thinking to myself, like, I want to finally be the version of Mikayla I've always wanted to be. Like, I want to shine bright. I want to light up every room I walk into. I want to be that person that people enjoy talking to. They're like, I'm like their comfort person. They're like, where's Mikayla? Like, oh my God, I got to tell her something. Like, that's always what I wanted to be, but I just wasn't being that version of myself. And so then going into the room where you can truly choose to be a new person, is life changing. You get to actually have immersion of a thing you've been thinking about, thinking about, and thinking about. And a lot of times you can absolutely do it at home, but it's difficult because a lot of times people just won't. They don't have the discipline and they don't have the standards to actually do that because they have their usual friends, the usual environment, usual routine, and breaking free of that pattern is it's hard. Like it really is. So going and being in a room, like investing in yourself and going and getting into a room where you can have that experience being that person, it makes it easier when you get back home. Like I shared with my study abroad, I was like, I loved who I became. And I was like, I really worked so hard to be her because you're gonna battle the limiting beliefs. And like, oh my gosh, like I'm really like breaking into a new level myself. Like, oh my gosh, like or is somebody going to be like, this isn't who you are at home? Like, this is new. Or, you just get in your head about things and be like, oh my gosh, well, are people going to like me? Like, I'm not, people don't know me as this version. So I don't know if it's safe. Like, you do the work and then you're like, no, it was so worth it to be that person. So when you take it back home, you're like, I worked so hard to be that. I'm going to do the work to be this person. Being in person has absolutely changed my life. Like when I talked about that $8,000 mastermind I did, I went to a retreat in Hawaii at the Ritz-Carlton and it changed my life. Like I had spent the last of my money on booking the plane ticket to go. I literally had like less than $20 in my bank account when I landed in Hawaii, like one of the most expensive states. And I fully was like, I might not eat all weekend. Like I might be drinking the free coffee from the Nespresso, and that's gonna be my meal. Because I didn't know if meals were included or anything. Thank God they were. I was like, I might not eat, but I want to be in the room. Like that's the level of crazy I am. But that retreat changed my life because I was like, oh my God, I'm in this beautiful space in this beautiful hotel with like these elevated women that like get me. I don't feel like I have to constantly over explain myself or justify things I'm doing. Like they're playing at the same level. They're taking content seriously. They're taking business seriously. They invest in themselves seriously. We're in the Ritz-Carlton for God's sakes. Like, oh my gosh. And it
Hmm.
just feels so expansive. It goes from being an idea to something you've felt and it moves you. Even
Hmm.
like last example I'll give on this too is like at my retreat in August, my very last retreat I did, we were in Greece and then Italy. And as something I did, because I'm literally crazy, is I booked us a private jet to fly from Greece to Italy. And that was the first time I'd ever been on a private jet. And it was incredible. And I was just telling my husband the other day, I was like, "Ugh, I need another private jet
You need to do it
experience."
again.
I'm like, I need that again. It's like once you're in the room, once you're in that environment, you're like, I don't ever want to go back down from this. I'm like, a normal plane is not the same. First class is not the same experience. And so being in these rooms in person is so powerful because it instantly increases your standards. And
Mhm.
that's been true for all of my clients. So many of my clients have completely uprooted, changed their life afterwards. They went and bought new houses, quit their job, bought brand new cars, moved across the country because you feel it and they're just like, oh my God, I've been settling so much. Like I have big changes to make. So being in person is one of the fastest ways to quantum leap, in my opinion.
Yeah, it like gives you that because being live on like a free masterclass or something like that, like being live there, it's like, okay, this is good. Like I feel the energy. But like when you go in person, it almost gives you this permission to be whoever the hell you want to be. Like for
Yeah.
me, that's one of the things that I'm most excited for coming up in September is being able to I'm going to something that we'll talk about in just a minute. But I like being able to be whoever the hell I want to be. Like being
Yeah.
able to be my fullest, like what I said earlier, embody it until you become it, like truly be able to embody it. Because when you're on live, like on Zoom or something, you're still at home. You're still in the same
Mhm.
environment. You're still around the same people that have the same judgments. You still have the same like scarcity thoughts because you're like, well, I'm really excited. I'm really motivated, but like, I don't know. I'm still me and I'm still stuck here
Yes.
in this whatever. Like, and so you're in this same place, but when you get out and you go out in the world and you go to someplace different, you go to a different state, a different city, whatever, and you're surrounded by women who are so freaking powerful and so all in on their dreams and you're in a new environment, like that can change everything because you are able to be who you want to be, who you were meant to be instead of just like who you think you should be in your hometown and you're like little like where you're surrounded by all these people that you've been nervous to take that next level with.
Like be your real self around them. If
Hmm.
there's like that layer, absolutely. And being in person, when you're around like-minded people that are really going for it, it actually proves to your nervous system like you're safe being that version of you. Because now you're in a place where it's normal and it's common versus like when we're at home, we're usually like the only person like ourselves that we're used to who's really going for it, building a business and posting content, like improving ourselves and working on our mindset. But when it's like normal and common, you can instantly take a deep breath because you're not constantly overcoming being misunderstood. So
Yes.
it shows to your body, like, oh, it's actually safe to be this new version of myself. And that is so valuable versus like being on a Zoom room, which is really powerful and you could change your life that way. But it's like you're in it and you're locked in, you're like, yes, let's go. And you do the homework and then like life continues to happen and you don't have the same level of accountability to be that person versus like when you're in person at things it's like oh well yesterday you showed up as this person and now you're not and now we're all confused
Yeah.
it's like up and down it's the same accountability all the way through and you actually want to be that person all the way through.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to learn a shit ton and you want to, start to feel that up level, go to the free masterclass. We're all going to be there. It's going to be epic. We're going to break Zoom. But if you want to take it to even the next level, if you want to physically feel the changes even within a couple of days, then tell us a little bit about this massive event you have coming up that now people can come to coming up in September that I am going to, and I'm so freaking excited about.
Oh my gosh. Come meet Paige. Come meet me. We are going to be live. I am hosting a conference in Dallas, Texas in September called Rich Girl Renaissance Live. And I am so excited. Excited is like not even scratching the surface of what I feel for this event. I have spent the last 8 years of my business doing retreats, doing events, speaking. I've done a podcast tour. I've done VIP days, VIP weekends with clients. I have been hosting in person events my entire business. And now I'm entering a whole new track, which is doing conferences. And we are going to have 120 women in the room ready to do the work on their identity, on their mindset, on their content, actually making money, taking generational wealth seriously, being ready to become the content millionaire. And Rich Girl Renaissance is all about becoming the content millionaire, becoming the woman who just says, all right, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to go. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to go make money. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to go be this version of myself. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to go take shit seriously because
Mhm.
I will never forget the moment of my life where I was like, I need to fucking wake up and go, bitch. Like, wake up and go, woman.
Yeah.
You need to, there's money to be made, there's content to be created, like there's lives that are meant to be changed by you. And making that decision was so powerful, going back to our decision conversation. So now I'm hosting a whole conference around it. If you join us in our top tier ticket, it is a 4-day experience in Dallas. It is going to be luxury sparkles, feathers, blazers, bad bitch energy, of course. We're gonna have like Rihanna dance party Drake vibes. We're gonna have champagne. We're going to create content while we are there. One of my personal missions for the event is that every single person leaves with 100 pieces of content. So there will be no excuses for you to not post. And what is so different about this event is one, I don't know anybody else who is running a luxury business conference where we're creating content there, we're masterminding while we're there, and we're talking about manifesting your rich girl life there. I don't know anybody else who's doing all of the things in one weekend, who's really teaching you how to become a content millionaire from all angles. And what I hate about conferences and events personally is going and taking a bunch of random notes and you leave and you're confused and now you're more overwhelmed because now there's even
Yeah.
more on your plate and you just don't even know where to begin. So at my conference, we are going to be creating your game plan and putting it into motion that weekend. We're going to actively have breakout workshop sessions where we're working this. We're actually doing it because I want you to feel what it feels like to become a content millionaire and start to practice that. Yes, the identity because you're walking in the room, but also the action steps. So yeah, it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be so good. And like, imagine going into the last quarter of the year and having basically all of your content done, like all of the videos, like the B rolls, the pictures, you are feeling the boss bitch, rich boss bitch vibes. You are feeling like you are that girl. You are like not at home taking these like little videos like you are, because I do a lot of
Yeah.
like hot girl walk videos, like no more B-roll hot girl walk videos that quarter. Like you are going all in and
Yeah.
embodying this like next level version of you because you truly feel like her while you're down there and you're surrounded by all these other women that feel the same way and are going after big dreams, like I said. But now you have like what, a quarter's worth of content like in your back pocket, in your phone, and you are able to, that's like the quarter that most people make the most money because you're going into like Black Friday, you're going into like the holiday season, like people want like gearing up for the new year, like you're going to have all this content plus all these new ideas. Like Mikayla gives me such good ideas for my content. I can't take credit for a lot of it because, well, not a lot of it, but I can't take credit for some of it because she's like, hey, why don't you do something like this? I'm like, ding, like light
You're
bulb.
like,
Like, so I
yeah.
can't even imagine what's going to happen when we're at that conference. And I have to say, I don't know if I was the first one, but I know I was one of the first ones to sign up for the conference. I saw the email and I was like,
Number
hey,
one.
ooh, number one. That's what I like to be. But like, I'm like, hey, hubby, is it okay? Not that I have to ask permission, but you know,
Yeah.
we're spouses, we finance it. I was gonna do it anyway. He doesn't listen to the podcast, so it's fine. He doesn't know, but I was gonna do it either way. But like I was so freaking ready for this because I know how much this is going to change people's or change my life and also be able to change other people's lives because of my content. Because
Yeah.
I'm able to have this content in my back pocket. Your excuses are boring. No excuses for your content. Like you're going to have the content ready to freaking go and it's
Yeah.
going to be incredible. And of course, I got the very top tier because why the hell not? If
Truly.
I'm going to go, I'm going to go all
You're
out. Like
going all out.
I'm going to go the whole time. And listen, those of you that are moms right now, because I know I have a lot of moms that listen, those of you that are moms, I'm giving you permission. You're allowed to take time away from your kids. You need to
Mhm.
take time away from your kids. You need to upgrade, like take this time to upgrade your business, be around other women and get like not, I don't want you to release the identity of mom, but let it just, sit in your back pocket for a minute and allow yourself to be who you have always wanted to be, where the mom mask always comes out when you're at home because you're constantly with the kids. Guess what? Now you get to kind of like take that off for a few days and be able to be fully yourself. So when you come back to be in mom mode, you are even bigger, better mom than you were before. Like it's going to be, give yourself permission. I give you permission. It's going to
Give
be
yourself
so
permission.
incredible.
I have so many clients that have come to my in-person events that are like, "Oh my gosh, this is my first time leaving the babies at home." And
Mhm.
there's tears and there's emotions, of course. And then you can hop in the hallway and get on a little
Yeah.
quick little FaceTime, and then you come back in the room. And these women feel so empowered. They're like, "Okay, I ripped off that Band-Aid." Like, because it's
Mhm.
such a big, daunting thing for moms. And especially like some of my moms who have like really young children, it's like, whatever, they just worry, of course. But it's like, give yourself that minute. Like, when else do you get to have a whole weekend to just think about you, your business, your content, how you're going to make money so that
Yeah,
you can do more things for your family? This
exactly.
event is going to be so incredible because it also takes out more of the thinking, right? Like, when you are a mom and you're running your business, you're thinking about so many different things all of the time. And to go to an event, be inspired, up level your identity, change your mindset, work towards your manifestations, actually map out the content and have a game plan that when you go home, you know step by step what to do, where you don't have to think going into the busiest part of the year where you do make the most money. Oh my God, it's invaluable. Plus, when you're in the room, and this is something I'm so excited about, there's going to be over 120 women there that are incredible, that are badasses, that run their company. Imagine the networking, imagine the collaborations, the connections. Like something that is so important to me is podcasting. Like imagine the podcast interviews that you guys can swap. Complementary companies. One thing that I love about my business is clients will come and work with me and then they'll sign clients from my programs. Like I have a client that's I've been working with for a long time who's a fitness coach, and almost all my clients end up working with her and like she's their fitness coach. She's like the
Love
MJ
that.
fitness coach, basically. And so it's like get in the room with your specialty, your expertise, and meet future clients, meet collaborations, network with people. Because oftentimes when we're at home running our businesses, we want to connect with more like-minded women. And
Hmm.
you want to connect specifically with the women that are actually going for it, that are actually doing something, that are investing in themselves, putting themselves out there, this is the room where those women are. Plus, you get to meet Paige, so you should probably just go for that aspect.
Exactly, exactly. Getting out of my small town, my small little hometown, born and raised, and going into Texas. I've only been there once, so I'm very excited. I don't know the last time I flew on a plane, so it's going to be an experience, and I'm going all by myself, and I'm so excited. But you do get to meet me, and more importantly, you get to meet and learn from Mikayla Jai herself. But I actually have personalized links for you guys that I'm going to put in the show notes for this September extravaganza that is going on down in Texas. That's going to be the Rich Girl Renaissance. So freaking incredible. Like, I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm so excited. And
So fun.
also, one of the reasons that I'm excited, you and I have worked on this, is I have decided if you buy, so there's three different tiers. So Mikayla has done a wonderful job to be able to help anyone and everyone be able to come because there's three different tiers. Obviously, the top tier is the best tier. It is
Of
the tier
course.
that you get the most things. If you want to learn all about the different tiers, you can always go. I'll put the link in the show notes for you to go figure out which one works best for you. But if you buy through my specific link, girl, you are getting like a double experience, a
Double value.
double the value, double the experience for the same price, but double
Mhm.
the experience where I'll just go through a couple here. I know we are way over time, but I'll couple here because I'm so excited about this because I've always wanted to do retreats and stuff for myself. I have
Yeah.
not gotten there yet. And so now I am making this my own little like retreat experience for my clients coming in. So if you have listened to any of my podcasts and you're like, I need to work with her and you just haven't found anything, like you've like not really taken that next step yet, right? Now's the
This
time.
is the time.
Now's the time. So, first of all, no matter what tier you buy, it can be one, two, or three, you are going to get a 30-day Telegram experience with me leading up to the event that we are going to focus on all things identity, especially going into the event, right? Like who you want to be, eliminating those limiting beliefs that are coming up, shifting your identity, really becoming this woman who can step into who you're going to be before you get to the event. So, like, absorb all of the information, actually take something away, learn how to start stepping into who you're becoming now. So that way, when you get down there, you're like, I'm ready. I don't need to
You're
take a
in
couple
it.
of days to step in. Yeah, I'm there for 3 days or 5 days. I don't know, but I'm going to be me, this next level version of me, the whole time. So, no matter what tier you get that 30-day Telegram experience for free with me. Number two, if you get the Icon or Sweet Life, those are the top two, correct?
Mhm.
So if you
Yeah.
get the Icon access or the Sweet Life access, which are the top two, you will also be, I am going to get an Airbnb, which Mikayla is helping, helping me with down there. I am getting an Airbnb down there for me and some of the ladies to stay at, but you will get a VIP day with me if you get either the Icon access or the Sweet Life access. VIP day with me. I haven't finalized all the specific details, but I want you to think like relaxation vibes, making content, extra content, spa day, getting ready for the best weekend of your life. Like those type of vibes, like we are going to get you relaxed, ready to go into it. So that's going to be incredible.
So fun
Also,
to like meet the other people too. Like you
mhm.
get to like meet your posse walking
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. And we're gonna be like the Page posse here. Like we're
Paige
gonna
posse.
we're gonna be that. Okay. Then also if you get the Sweet Life, which is the top tier, you will get the full retreat experience. Like the full retreat experience, which I'm super excited about. Something, another manifestation moment. Check, done. So you're going to actually stay in the Airbnb with me. That is something you're going to be able to come in, and we're going to be doing all of the things that a normal retreat. I don't know why I keep saying that. Retreat would do. We're doing like the morning movement. I'm very much a workout girly, so you cannot not do. So we're going to do some kind of
Yeah.
morning movement together. We are going to have these nightly debriefs. We're going to have bonus workshops, dinners, goodie bags, all of the things. I think the full experience you're going to get with Mikayla, but you're also going to get it with me. So if you get that top tier experience, you are getting double the value with the same amount, like the same amount of money, but double the value.
Same
So
cost.
think of how
Love.
amazing that's going to be. And finally, if you buy this month, which it's May, if you're listening or watching, if you buy in May, I haven't officially launched this yet, but you're going to get access to my new summer program, which I, like I said, have not even talked about. It's going to be called, as of right now, it's going to be called Rooted and Relentless. And we're going to go all in on how to do it all and be the rooted version of you, if you want to be that soft life version of you, but also be the relentless boss bitch version of you, because you can do them both. You can have the best of both worlds. You can be the best mom, the best spouse, the best dog mom, whatever in the world. And you can also be the boss bitch that gets shit done, signs clients on the daily, and has money coming in on a regular basis. So you get, regardless of what you get right now or what tier you get, if you buy this month in May, you get access to that summer program. So
Oh
that
my
is
gosh.
that is my
Oh my
bonuses.
gosh.
So
It's so, you guys, this is so insane. Like, just think about you get the Sweet Life ticket, you get the full event experience. You don't even have to book your accommodations. You're staying with Paige when you book through her link. So then you don't even have to think about anything. Like, you get to shut your brain off and go full business mode. It's like,
yep.
you get to show up. You have people there that you're going to know. So you'll be less nervous walking in the room because you've got Paige's posse. You've got the community ready to go. You've had a VIP day, a little R&R, maybe a little face mask. Like, you're ready to go. You have the 30-day experience. You know exactly who you're going to be walking in the room after the whole summer working with Paige inside of this new program. Like, this is insane. I always think about, like, what is the story that I want to tell? Like, think about when you are investing in this tickets, like, think about the story you're going to tell at the event. Like, oh my gosh, I listened to this incredible podcast and I joined the masterclass, and then I joined Rich Girl Renaissance Live, and I joined with Paige, and then I had the most insane summer of up levels, and then we did this identity thing, and I know exactly who I need to be, and I'm just excited to shut my logic brain off and just go business mode. And like, think about that story you get to tell. Like, you're going back home in September, and then you're like, and now I'm fully set for business for the rest of the year. Like, that is the story of 2026 that you want to be telling.
Yeah.
These bonuses are so insane, and Paige isn't even charging you for them. Like, you
Yeah.
just get them included when you book through her link. This is amazing. It's going to be a masterpiece.
Yeah, and I know all of you said 2026 is my year. Guess what? You get the opportunity to make it your year now. So
Yep.
now you have to make the decision. You have to make the decision on if you actually were being honest with yourself. If you're being honest with yourself that you're going to make it your year. If you're a business owner, if you any kind of business owner, right? Like, this is
Yep.
for like the online, the coaches, the you are able to explain this. I don't know why I'm like tongue tied, but any of the coaches,
Yeah.
any of like the business owners out there, if you utilize social media at all, like any kind of content creator, you
Mhm.
are going to want to be there, because we are going all in, and you're going to learn exactly what you need to do, and hands-on workshops, and like I said, podcast hosts, anything. Like, think of all of the people you're going to be able to connect with. Like,
It's
that
really
is, it's going to be incredible. And you get this identity work beforehand. Like, even you explaining it, like what I explained all the things I'm doing, but you explaining it, I'm like, I want to join. I'm the one in charge.
like, I want to join my own offer. No, and it's gonna be perfect. Even if you're a business owner and you're not using social media right now, like, and you know you need to be, join. I have clients who are estheticians, who are hairstylists, who are real estate agents, who own brick and mortar stores, who have nonprofit businesses that are going to be there. Like, everybody can be using social media to sell for them. And then when you are coupling this with Paige's identity work, you're going to be in the right headspace to really pop off with what we're working on. So if you guys have any questions about the event, feel free to message Paige. She's going to be your point of contact. She will help you figure out what ticket tier is going to be best for you. Obviously, you want to do Sweet Life so you can get all
Yeah.
of her bonuses, of course, but you can ask her any questions. Of course, you can message me, but book through Paige's link. Like, you're getting a better deal with her. It's
You
going to
get
be
all of
amazing.
the things with me. Exactly. Yes, it's going to be incredible, and I'm so excited. So, oh my goodness, that was
Wow.
such an amazing conversation. Thank you so much for doing this. My first ever podcast interview. I literally, my face hurts right now because I'm like smiling so much. It hurts. I'm like, if you see me making weird faces on the YouTube video and you're like, before you comment, like, what's this bitch's problem? It's because I'm like smiling and my face literally hurts. And I also have this light in my eyeballs that's been in my face for all day today so far. But this was so incredible. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your wisdom, your energy. And this is literally like a little masterclass all within itself. Like,
Yeah,
this is
it really
binge
has
this.
been.
Yeah, binge this as often as you would like. Share it on your stories, all of the things. Like, make sure that you really, like, if you're going to share it, which please do, tell us your takeaway, but tag both Mikayla and I. It's at the Mikayla Jai, which I will post on, I'll put in the show notes as well. I'll put her links and everything like that too. But tag us, share us your biggest takeaway, and all of the links are going to be in the show notes below. Do you have any final words? Any final words you want to end with?
Oh, well,
We
this
talked
has
about
been
so much.
incredible. This has been an incredible session. Everybody needs to download this and listen to this three separate times. That's one thing. And I just want to circle back to the very beginning of like, your excuses are boring. Your excuses are boring. If you're thinking about coming to Rich Girl Renaissance and you're instantly going into logistics and this and that, and how am I going to make it work? I had a client come to a retreat one time and miss 2 full days because of missed flights and travel delays that were out of her control. And her mindset the entire time was like, I'm just going to get there. I don't care. I'm just going to get there. I'm just going to get there. And when she got there, we had the best time ever. It's like there's no excuses. It's just get there. Do what you need to do to get there.
Mhm.
Do what you need to do to post the content. Do what you need to do to feel comfortable being your full self. Like there's no, sure, there are excuses that are practical explanations, but that doesn't mean it needs to rule your life. Like
Yeah.
you choose how things go, make a powerful decision. And one thing that I've been talking about a lot in content page as well is like, wake up and go, woman. Like, there is literally nothing holding you back. You need to wake up and you need to go win right now.
Yeah.
Like, stop holding back. You need to go win right now.
Yes,
That's
you
my
are the only
final.
person holding yourself back. You are the only person that can create your dream life. No one else can do it for you. And the more that you allow yourself to have excuses that hold you back, the more you're going to stay stuck and the more you're going to stay the same. And the more pissed off you are going to be at yourself later on in life. And you're like, I could have done this when I was younger, when I had more time, when I had more energy, all of these things. Like,
Yeah.
do it now, do it and show your kids, if you are a mom, show your kids what you're made of. Show your kids that you are this boss bitch woman that is also this amazing mom, and you can have the best of both worlds, like Hannah Montana says. Okay, like
Yeah.
show them. All
Do
right.
as
Well,
Miley says.
yes, as Miley says. All right. Thank you so much again for coming on. I so appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys in the next episode. Love you. See you next week's episode. Bye.